Hey, so today I'm back to show you the tabletop. This one is already glued up. It did not get filmed. We had a little bit of a, I guess you could say, technical difficulty that day. I would say technically my husband was being difficult. He would probably say I was, but either way, it didn't get filmed. But it's done, and I still have to glue up the bench top. Same procedure. I'll just walk you through on that and actually show you. It's only 2 boards instead of 5, but I do it the exact same way. Here you can see these marks. That's just where I did my biscuits, and I'll show you on the bench top the same thing. I just pick spots, maybe where the alignment isn't quite right. This is the end where my breadboards are going to attach, so I try to get in a couple inches because I'll be drilling into the ends to attach the breadboards, and that'll be in another video. But all I do is make marks on each board. I don't know, depends on the length of the board, but about every 18 inches or so, I guess. And like I said, there is absolutely no structural benefit of biscuits. It just helps with alignment, helps keep your boards flat across the top. So I did that, applied glue on each seam, and then clamp it up. I use parallel clamps underneath. You can see underneath there. You can see it's nice and flat on that clamp. There's 2 underneath, and then I actually had 3 of the pipe clamps on the top holding it in place as well. It's ready to come out of clamps. I clamped it up couple days ago, and then I put these cauls, I think is how you say it. It's 2 pieces of flat board that are clamped just to kind of help hold it flat, because if you're not careful when you put the when you tighten up your parallel clamps here, if you put too much pressure, you'll actually kind of bend your wood up in your top. So you always have to be careful when you're tightening it that you don't tighten too tight and start bending it up. So then it just comes out of clamps, and it is ready for to be squared up on the ends here and then attach the breadboards. But I'm going to take you outside and show you on the bench top how I do my biscuits and what the biscuit cutter is. But this is the top. It's 2 boards. I just loosely clamp it together to hold it while I make my marks. And as you can see, like I said, there's a little ridge there because something is not completely square. This end looks pretty good. But when I make my biscuits, see how it flushes it up? That'll help hold it in alignment when I glue it up. So I just put my square on here and just make a couple marks where I want my biscuits to go. This is my biscuit cutter, or biscuit joiner. It just cuts 3 different sizes, 0, 10, and 20. Has to do with the size of the biscuit that'll go in there. But basically you set your fence to 90. You can adjust up and down on your depth of your cut. I always do a practice cut on scrap piece of wood because I have been off on measurements plenty of times. So it's super easy. There's a little mark right here at the top. You just line up that little mark with your mark on your wood. Squeeze the trigger and push. It makes a nice little groove. There's a little wood biscuit wafer that'll fit right in there. Line up with the next side, and when we glue it up, it'll help keep it nice and flush. Okay, back inside my workshop. I just like to kind of dry fit my stuff just to make sure everything's gonna work out the way I'm going for. So as you can see, putting those biscuits in there really helps with keeping that nice and flush. So this is it. Those are the biscuits. You can see how they just help with, like I said, the alignment in there. I mean, it's just a little old thin wafer, so there's absolutely no structural. I mean, having that in there is not going to make your top stronger than the glue. Honestly, if this was perfectly squared, you wouldn't even need the biscuits. But they just kind of like to help with alignment. I'll just fit in there with some glue, and then I will put glue all along this edge with my little tiny little brush and get it all glued up, and then clamp it up. Last minute I didn't want to clean up any more glue than I had to, so I just slid that up in there. Playtime with your glue. I use Type Bond 3. It's pretty much the only glue I use. That's it. You do the same procedure. If I had done as when I did the tabletop, except you'd have biscuits in all of them, clamp the whole 5 up together, and let it dry. And I think I'm gonna work on my aprons here. Your aprons are what go, like these are the table legs and the bench legs. So it's gonna be real cute. These are the benches. So your aprons are what go between your legs. And then this is your apron length that will go here. Short aprons and then long aprons all the way down. Okay, the tabletops I did not mention, or I might have said in the other video, I don't remember. Always glue, no screws. Our kitchen table is actually put together with pocket hole screws together and pocket hole to the base. Not the way to do it. I'm surprised it's lasted 5.5 years and I've not cracked. And you can actually see in the top where it has shrunk. You can see where the stain hasn't made it through there. But that kind of stress on your those joints is what will cause the tabletop to crack, because you don't have the room for them to contract and expand with the moisture, whereas with just straight up glue, as this expands and contracts, it doesn't crack. So for these though, for the aprons, I really want a Festool domino. I really can't afford a Festool domino. So I do often use pocket holes for that, just because that doesn't matter, because it's going to expand and contract this way. So I will probably just do pocket holes to get my aprons into my legs, and then I will use my biscuit cutter again to make little grooves, and I use what are called Z-clips to attach my top to my base. It'll hold it down nice and flat. You just make grooves in here, and the Z-clips actually float in here and just screw to your tabletop and hold it in place. But We'll show you that at a later video. So let me get all set up. I've got to cut my aprons to length because as you can tell, these are my short aprons. They're a wee bit long. So I've got to get some measurements, get those cut down, and then I will break out the Craig pocket hole jig and make some pocket holes. And I can probably get these bases assembled today and be done with it. Okay, I have all of my aprons cut for the tabletop base. I still have to do the bench one, but I needed to get this done, and then I've got to recalculate the length of my bench because I don't remember how long it's supposed to be. And I'm just going to, like I said, I'm just going to do pocket holes. They work. I don't like the look personally of pocket holes. If I build anything where you're going to see the joinery, I try not to use pocket holes, but this is the inside of the apron up underneath the table, so unless you're literally crawling around on the floor under your table, you'll never see them. So these aprons, I just planed down to, they're almost 2 inches thick, literally like a 1/16 shy. So I had to dig out my heavy duty pocket hole jig. I remember how to use it because it's been a while. This one does, this is Craig's system, has face clamps and then your pocket hole jig that literally, this one you don't even have to set dimensions. It's just one jig for all sizes over 1.5 inch thick. And then they come with a special bit to use as well. So I'll clamp them on here and just show you how easy it is to use them. And then it's just a scrap piece I have. I always try to do stuff on the scrap piece because, like I said, I don't always measure correctly. So this just literally holds your clamp in there so you can move from piece to piece very easily. I've already set my depth of my clamp. You literally just clamp this on. You can see right here, 2 holes for your drill bit. I've already got it in. That is literally how easy it is. 2 holes. This will be on the inside of the table. So from the outside of your tabletop, this is all you're going to see. Absolutely no visible holes, but your screws will fit right down in there and will actually come out the end here and attach into the actual table leg. That's it. That's literally how easy it is to do pocket holes. It looks like it took me less than 10 minutes. All that's left is to attach these to the table legs, and then I will cut a couple cross pieces that'll go underneath the tabletop just to kind of give it a little bit more support. But those I always wait till after I've got my aprons put on to measure the exact width I need because they're going to be a little wider than my aprons. And they'll be the same way. I'll just do pocket holes at the end and attach them into these side aprons. And that's it. Just have to do the bench pieces and they will be ready for assembly, which is not going to happen today because, as y'all can see, it's beautiful. And I have to work tonight, so I'm probably going to spend a few minutes on my swing enjoying the beautiful weather before I have to take a nap.